Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to wise up and rise up from these narcissists. And also, if you enjoy this video, at the end of the video, make sure you're hitting those thumbs up, because what that does is it helps with the algorithm for this video to get out there to more people who need to hear this video. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. If you clicked on this video, you want to know more about how can you become powerful to not fall back into bad habits with that narcissist, right? And what do I mean by that is that a lot of times we will find ourselves moving forward. We're moving forward. We see everything going so good, and then all of a sudden the narcissist likes one of our pictures on social media, or the narcissist says, oh, I left something at your house, I need to come and pick it up. Or randomly the narcissist messages you out of the blue and says, oh, I miss you, or something, right? To love bomb you or to find some sort of crack to get their way into your mind, or just get their way back into your life. How can you stand firm? How can you stand strong? What can you do? Well, on this video, I'm going to share with you guys tips on what you can do when you find that yourself getting triggered to move backward with that narcissist. So tip number one, the first thing you can do is stand tall with your boundaries. Now, if you have not figured out what your boundaries are, then that's why a lot of times we find ourselves moving backwards with the narcissist, because we don't know what the hell boundaries look like. And this is why the narcissist can always come in and overstep any boundaries or overstep anything that you say or you're trying to uphold with boundaries, because you don't even know what they look like. So figure out what are your boundaries for yourself, whether that be you don't want no contact with them at all. So your boundary would be is block them on all levels. Whether your boundary is that you don't want to see them at all. So then you make sure at the end of the day they have zero access to you. They can't come by your house. If you have to go to the extent of getting a restraining order on their ass because they're still not respecting you, they're still not listening to your wishes of them not coming to your house, get a restraining order. That would be one of your boundaries. So figure out what are the boundaries for yourself that you want to hold with that narcissist. I can't tell you what your boundaries are because you're your own individual. You need to figure out what your boundaries are for you, because when you set those boundaries is when you can take back your power from that narcissist, and then they start to realize, hey, I can't have access to this person whenever I feel like it no more. I can't use them as supply whenever I feel like it anymore. So that would be tip number one, is understanding what does your boundaries look like? What are boundaries to you? And how can you uphold those boundaries with that narcissist? Tip number two is standing tall and staying in the facts. What are the facts? Is this person a narcissist? If this person is a narcissist, what is their favorite tactic to use when they want access to you? Love bombing. They will say, they will do anything to love bomb you and to slither their way into your mind, into your emotions, and having access to you to gain supply from you again. Now, what is supply to them? Any reaction, whether it be good or bad, is supply. If they can see that they can anger you, make you cry, or make you tell them that you miss them, that you want attention from them, that you miss the old ways, or you talk stories with them about the past, they know that they still have access to your mind. They know that they still have access to your emotions, and that's good enough for them. This is why a lot of times the narcissists, when they get back in, they slither their way in, and they get back supply from you, they'll disappear after, because that's all you were to them, was supply. That's it. You filled the ego that you filled. You supplied the ego stroke that they wanted, and you filled that emptiness that they were feeling at that moment, and now they don't need you no more. This is why they'll disregard you. You'll see they'll come, they'll love bomb you, say everything great, do everything that you wanted, and then disappear after. Because at the end of the day, they got what they wanted from you. You filled that supply, and that's about it. So this is why it's so important, tip number 2, to stand in the facts. Know learn their patterns, know who they are. And when you learn their patterns and you know who they are, you can stand in those facts and you will not go backwards, because you're so standing tall in those facts and staying strong in those facts that I know what you're trying to do. I know your patterns. I know what you're coming with, and I'm not gonna give up my boundaries, tip number 1, to fall backwards and fall back into those traps, and where I know I don't want to be anymore, right? Tip number 3 is understand at that moment when that person tries to creep back in, when that person tries to trigger you, when that person tries to do anything, what is going on with your emotions at that moment? Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling frustrated? Figuring out what are those triggers that are coming up from that narcissist. Because at the end of the day, triggers in your emotions that narcissist is bringing up is triggers that need to be healed. Triggers that need to be loved on. Triggers that need to be seen. I tell everybody out there, emotions are like feelings that are like emotions are feelings like they're friends that came to visit but not come to stay. What does a friend do? When a friend comes to visit, comes to talk to you, comes to maybe vent to you, maybe sometimes brings out certain things that you need to talk about, and you guys talk it out, you guys hash it out, and then after that, what? The person goes home. The friend goes home. The friend leaves. The friend does not stay. So it's the same thing with your emotions. Your emotions are coming to trigger you, to bring up certain things that need to be healed, certain things that want to be seen, certain things that want to be loved on. And then once you see them, once you love on them, once you embrace them, you'll see that they'll subside, right? And then you'll be back to center. You'll be back to feeling happy. You'll be back to feeling joyful, right? So that's the biggest thing, is realize what is this narcissist triggering with inside of yourself that need to be healed, that need to be seen, that need to be loved on. And as you take these couple steps, when that narcissist tries to come back around, when that narcissist tries to creep back around, what these things are going to do is going to help you not to move backward into things and situations that you know that you don't want to be on anymore, right? Tip number 4 is really dive deep in understanding what is it that I want. And journal this if you have to. Write down what is it that you really want in life, in a relationship, right? And then whenever that person tries to come back around, before responding, before even acknowledging that person, acknowledge what you wrote down. And if that person is equal to what you know that you desire and what you know deep down you deserve and you want, and majority of the time when you can do that, then you'll realize, why am I moving backwards? Why am I even responding to this person? Why am I even talking to this person? And now this video is for these people that haven't yet found the strength to block the narcissist, to stop talking to them on all levels. This video is for the people that maybe still have to have access to talk to the narcissist because they're the parents of your child, right? And you can't go no contact completely, right? So at the end of the day, I'm making these videos for these certain people. But if you are that person that has that strength and you have blocked your narcissist on all social media platforms, on all ways of have access to you, whether through the phone or they can't come and see you because you've moved and all this other stuff, then this video is not necessarily for you, because at the end of the day, you took every step to make sure that that person has zero access to you. And in situations where people have the chance to go no contact, zero, no contact, that's the first advice that I tell anybody. Because then in that way, then that that person will have zero access to creep back into your life and have access back to your mind, to your emotions, and through any way of contact through you. But for those other people that have not got there yet, because I know at one point I was there. I was not at that extent where I can go zero contact with my narcissist, right? Until I learned certain boundaries. And for me now, personally, I deal with my narcissist through email, right? And I have done that for such a long period of time. And now that I'm at a certain, emotional standpoint, and, so is my narcissist, he's good, happy with his supply. He's getting all his supply, and he's not really, getting at me no more because I, took all the necessary, necessary steps. I said, if you don't stop harassing me, I will get a restraining order. I made the police call him, right? He understood my boundaries right then and there because he didn't want to get in trouble. Then the same thing, like I just went through emails for such a long period of time. And now, he understands that we don't need to have contact unless it's an emergency, right? Now he just contacts my daughter because my daughter is older. So at the end of the day, it's things like this. When I'm telling you, the tips that I'm sharing with you, if you actually implement them, you will see not only little by little you will get stronger, but little by little that narcissist will start backing off. Do they ever truly, really leave you alone completely? No. But at the end of the day, the whole point of that is for it to subside, for it to get better, right? Then the only way that you could potentially, for sure, a narcissist will forever leave you alone is when they have, again, you don't have a kid with them and you block them on all levels and there's no way for them to ever have access to you. Where sometimes in some situations, the narcissist will use a different phone number. The narcissist will use a different account and all this other stuff. But that's where it's up to you to get a restraining order, to take the right serious measures to, again, put your foot down with them, because narcissists don't know nothing about boundaries. But you maybe sometimes don't know yourself what boundaries are. And that's where it's up to you to learn these tips that I just shared with you, right? For what works best for you. I'm only sharing with you guys great tips and great tools and knowledge on what you can do, but knowledge is nothing if you don't implement it and you don't take steps, right? And take action. So at the end of the day, all this what you're listening to can be all great and fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, if you're not actually taking the steps towards it, and only you can know when it's time, right? I tell victims of narcissistic abuse all the time, only you can know when it's the right time for you to take the right steps and actually start implementing change, right? Only you. But then again, it's only you that are going to have to endure the pain, the suffering, the abuse over and over and over and over again if you don't start taking action today. This is why the Wise Up, Rise Up community, I want to help inspire all of you guys to not just learn the knowledge, but actually implement it so then you can rise up from these narcissists and be the best damn version of yourself. Because the biggest thing that you can do to get back at that narcissist is actually elevating, actually focusing all the attention on you, taking the focus off of them, because the narcissist doesn't have to be inside of your life to still have control over you. Right? They can have occupation inside of your mind and still be controlling you, because your mind is where everything happens, right? Your thoughts create words. Your words create actions. So at the end of the day, if you're constantly fixating and constantly thinking about that narcissist, at the end of the day, you're still in control. The narcissist is still in control over you, right? And the only way that you can gain back power, right, is looking within inside of yourself and implementing these couple things that I'm trying to tell you to do to take back control of your life. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I hope I left you guys with, I know I left you guys with some great valuable tips to wise up and rise up inside of your life. Thank you so much for finding value. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos. I really, really appreciate you. Make sure you're joining the Wise Up, Rise Up community today. Make sure you're joining my podcast. I drop podcasts almost every other day. It's called the Wise Up, Rise Up podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on Anchor. It's on Apple Play. And then also make sure you're joining my TikTok. I drop 3 to 2 videos every day to keep you inspired and motivated, right? My TikTok channel is Wise Up, Rise Up Narc. Make sure you're joining there. I have my Facebook group to help inspire you and motivate you with different posts. Make sure you're going to join that. There's other people in there too that'll help inspire you and motivate you. Thank you so much again for being a part of the Wise Up, Rise Up community. And I'll see you guys again on another video. Take care.